Today I'm playing Wordle with Marvel Snap cards, but not like this. Instead, I'm gonna try to guess a secret daily Marvel Snap card. And just like Wordle, I'll be given hints based off how close my guesses are. There's two different websites I'm going to use in this video, both of which give slightly different hints, and I'll leave links to both of those in the video description. Now, I've never done this before, but I think the optimal strategy would probably be to pick something that's like a 3 or a 4 cost, somewhere in the middle. I also haven't looked at the full instructions, but we're going to figure it out as we go along here. But I think I'm going to just pick a random card here, and the first thing that came to my mind was Black Bolt. So that is what I'm going to start off with. I don't think that it will help us that there's a bunch of cards with the word black in the name, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that I don't know about. If this is the criteria for how well I know Marvel Snap, I thought we were going to go based off of the cost and the power, and yeah, I do not know anything about these characters. So this will be really interesting. This is going to be my first guess. You can also learn more about these different cards. Maybe it was just bugged. Okay. So it is a 7 power card. I went with a 7 power card because today was September 7th. And it is also a male hero. So now it seems to be working, but it's a 7 power card that costs less than 5. So for that we have, wow. Okay, so we did have some 4/7s in the game at one point. Could it just be Wakan? Could it be the card that I am enjoying the most right now in Marvel Snap? Okay, there we go. That's how well I know Marvel Snap. And then we also have Snapdle, which looks like it's going to be a little bit more up my alley in terms of the things that it's giving you hints for. Release date, abilities, categories, all things pool, all things that actually have to do with Marvel Snap. And I think I'm just going to go Black Bolt. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Release date, green. So am I looking for a card that was released like the exact same month as Black Bolt? That's really interesting. If so, that's going to be tough to remember. But let's try to remember which season this was. I think this might have been Zabu or a little bit after Zabu. Let's try Zabu. And we're not getting higher or lower on these. Oh no, wait. This was a whole... I had the wrong year even. Okay, I was totally off in terms of Zabu. And because this is yellow... Wait, ongoing decrease cost. No, that's not what Zabu does. Zabu is an on reveal. Oh well. Maybe some things in here have not been updated in a little bit, but it does say Zabu's a 2/3. But we're looking for something a little bit older than Black Bolt. Is Black Bolt? Oh, Black Bolt's from the release of the game. Oh, that's what this date means. So this means that this is a card that was available on launch, and we don't know if we're looking for pool 1 or pool 5. But probably, wait, no, it would have to be pool 1 or 2 because pool 5 wouldn't have been out at the release of the game. All right, I'm putting together some of this stuff here, but we don't get as good of hints on cost and power. That's really, really helpful in the other game. But let's think of maybe let's just think of a tier 2 card, and I am pretty confident that Devil Dinosaur is going to be a tier 2, but that's also a 5 cost, and we know it's not a 2 cost. So what if we went with Moon Girl? That's an on reveal. It's a pool 1 card that costs 4 and has been out since the start of the game. I'm blocking the screen here a little bit. Let me move myself up to the top. And a little bit of an outfit change. I was just out for a run in the rain here, but a 4 cost card that was in the game on release. I feel like Shang-Chi has to be pool 2 though, right? But Moon Girl I thought was pool 2. What else is there? I mean, there's just The Thing. Yeah, we know it's not Shang-Chi because Shang-Chi has 3 power. So what if it's The Thing? It's not an Inhuman, but I don't know what categories there are. That's not really for me. Starter card. Okay, but it's a 4/6 that's been in the game since the start. Oh, right. And we're pretty sure it has an on reveal at this point because that's underlined in yellow in both of these. So what is a 4/6 on reveal? It's not Nick Fury. There has to be, it's not Gwenpool. There has to be another 4/6 on reveal card from pool 1. Huh. There's Iron Lad. There's a lot of 4/6s. It's not Iron Lad, it's not Gwenpool, it's not Nick Fury. And we're looking at pool 1, so this isn't like an extremely playable card, but it is White Queen. There we go. Okay, cool. So there is Snapdle, and yeah, you can play it every day. There's also another mode in this, Guess the Stats, which is really, I looked at this briefly. You're gonna get like a sense of the metagame with this, and I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot here. So I'm just gonna click that top one, and now we see we're gonna be given 5 cards and then basically 5 slots to put them into. So based off this information, games played, win rate, average cubes, and win rate when played, we have to sort Brood, Corvus, Heimdall, Iceman, and Serra. And I think the card with the lowest win rate when played is probably going to be either Corvus, Iceman, or Heimdall. And then highest win rate when played is probably Serra. Though Heimdall could also have a high win rate when played because it's an expensive card and people are either going to play it or they're going to retreat. And based off these number of games, I think that that's really telling too. I think that most played card just has to be Brood. Pretty high win rate, being that it's a Silver Surfer card. And I think the next most played card is probably just Serra. I don't know that Heimdall would be this high, but I can't imagine that's Iceman either. So I'm going to throw Heimdall right here. And then it's a matter of which of these do I think is the worst, but which do I think is the least played. I think that Corvus is probably the least played. And win rate when played, it's non-targeted discard, so sometimes it's just going to hit your Hela as well. Let's see how we did. 3. I got 3 of them correct. This is kind of a little test for Big Brother here, too. Let's see what happens if we switch these two. 5. You win. Great. Okay, so it was just Iceman and Corvus needed to be switched. I feel pretty good about that. Considering I was able to get that done in 2 as well. And I believe that as a daily thing, you can select this rank, or this rank, which isn't, I don't think it's difficulty. I think it's just which ranks are you looking at the stats from. Let's give it another shot today. And now that I know what I'm working with, I do think I'm going to go for something. I think I got pretty lucky yesterday. And I think I'm going to go for something that I think more cards will have in common with. And I think that Scarlet Witch is a pretty good guess. Yeah, because there's a lot of 2-cost cards in the game. So getting it out of the way that it's a 2-cost card, it's going to be a male 2-cost that is less than a 2/3, less power than a 2/3. It is not an Avenger. I was initially thinking, yeah, debut doesn't mean anything to me, but gender does. I was kind of thinking Loki, but I'm not sure if that gives me enough information. Because I might rather go with a 2-1, and then if it says, no, it needs to be higher, then I know it's a 2-2. So what's a 2-1? I don't even know that there are many 2-1s left in the game right now, because I feel like Grandmaster, that was a 2-0. I think Forge was a 2-1 at one point, but now I think it's a 2-2. So what is a 2-1? Okay, well, if I can't think of any, then I'm just going to go with Loki. Debut means nothing to me. I do know that it is not an Avenger, and I don't think that Loki's an Avenger, but there's so many things that I don't know what they are. All right, let's just go for Loki just for lack of creativity here, and it is a male. Oh, but Loki's an anti-hero. Right, but it is a 2-2. So we're looking for a 2-2 male hero that is like kind of an Avenger and kind of rivals to Magneto. Huh, I don't know what that means, kind of an Avenger. But what other good 2-2s are there? I mean, now we are really in a world where I only can base it off of things that I don't really know about. I do know it's a newer character than the 60s, but what does that really tell me? I mean, Forge, Grandmaster. Grandmaster feels like it might be a bad guy. Let's go for Forge and see if Forge is indeed a hero. Okay, I thought that when I saw yellow for Magneto, that might mean, and yellow for Avenger, that might mean we're dealing with an X-Man. But now where do we go? There's Kraven. It's somewhere between 84 and 64. Doesn't really help me too much. I'm just going to be guessing 2-2s. Is Kraven... Okay, we've got Wolverine. Oh, Wolverine, but Wolverine's rival certainly would be Magneto, right? Huh. But that's a 2-2 X-Men. I know that that one's an X-Men for sure. Some other things I'm going to be less sure that they are X-Men. Scorpion, I think, is a bad guy. Grandmaster, no clue what he's up to. Seems like he could be a bad guy. He looks a little mean. So what are some other 2-2s? Carnage is going to be a bad guy. I'm going to go for Wolvie. But Wolvie is certainly older than Scarlet Witch, right? Wolvie's got to be classic. Classic. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just assuming, like, that Wolverine would be, like, one of the oldest things. It's not going to be as old as Thor and Spider-Man. Those are... rivalry, adversary? That's just a synonym for rivalry. Okay, no, it's just a person named Adversary. So... but it was yellow for Magneto. So maybe let's throw in Wolverine. I should be learning on everything. Oh, it was Wolf. Okay, great. I should be clicking more information on all of these things. Ah, Sabretooth is their main rival. Just so that way I can learn a little bit more about them if I were to, like, continue playing this game. Let's also give Snapdle another shot. And should we kick things off with Wolvie? Because he just won the previous. I do think somewhere in those stats, a 2-2 or a 2-3. Obviously, all of those cards are really good in Cerebro, both Cerebro 2 and Cerebro 3, because there's a lot of cards with those stats. So let's pick another 2-3 and see how that does for me. Because, yeah, you could wind up really needing some help if... Oh, I said Sentry. I meant to say, this is not what I meant at all. I definitely meant to What's the 2-3 called then? If this is called Sentry, then the 2-3 is called... Wow. That is going to bother me, but we got to think of something else from 2020, the release year of Snap. So that could mean everything. And if it's a pool 3, or if it's not a pool 3, but it's from the release year, it is probably a card from the release of the game. It's called like Sentret or something. Sentret is a Pokemon, right? Sentret is a Pokemon. One of those two is... What's the thing that puts a copy of itself in your hand? I'm not getting it. Wow. But that's an on reveal. Why does it say this is add card to hand? But it's not that. It's just an on reveal. So I'm looking for an on reveal from the start of the game that probably like adds power to itself. Forge, just because it's on the top of my mind right now. Sure. Okay, so it is from the release of the game, is on pool 1, is an on reveal, but it does not increase power. It's also not a 2 cost nor a 4 cost, so maybe we're looking for 3 cost. Maybe we are looking for... It can't be Brood, because Sentry adds a card to location and that does not have an underline. So what's another interesting on reveal that does something that neither of these cards do? This says add card to hand, but Sentry does not add a card to hand. So that is a very weird thing for it to say, because we could just go like Agent 13 or something. Though that has 2 power. So what if we did Destroyer? That's a pool 3 card though, is it not? But that's a good route to go. What about Venom? I don't think Venom... Okay, I got to remember that as soon as I click it, it's going to add it onto the board here. It is a 3 power card. Venom's pool 3 as well. I did not realize that. But it's an on reveal. Oh, and it also is an increase in power. Didn't think of that. So I need a different 3 power on reveal. I'm thinking Leader, but that's probably also pool 3. I'm thinking... Are there any other... Yeah, there's like Valkyrie, but that's probably pool 3 at this point. I don't remember Valkyrie ever coming into Spotlight caches. I think it was just probably pool 3 on release. Huh. And we know we're looking... So those are the only things like at the top of the curve that I can think of. Otherwise, we have Zero and Blade. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's probably one of those two then. And I think Blade, because I feel like Zero is more likely to be pool 3, whereas Blade could be pool 1 or 2. And it looks like that's it. Bang? I think so. Yes, you win. Great. Okay. Cool. I was looking down here to see all the reveals. So Blade, not too bad. I think that we narrowed in. I can't remember what the name of the 2/3 that adds a copy of itself to your hand. So maybe I don't know Marvel Snap that well, but still well enough. I'll try this out too, just to see how we can do here. And just this one is for the lower ranks here. What is going to be the most played and least played cards in the lower ranks? Zabu, really not seeing that much play right now. Death still sees a fair amount of play, I think, and Gambit probably sees the least amount of play among these, but I feel like Wong is a ton of fun. Win rate when played. Win rate when played on Death being super high does make a lot of sense. Let's try this. 3. So 2 of these things have to get swapped. And I think it's probably White Tiger and Gambit. Let's try that. No, so it's not White Tiger and Gambit. That only made me go down by 1. Wait, how does that make sense? That means one of them is currently correct. Right. So it means I have to do either this or this. No way Zabu is seeing the most play here. This is wrong because one of either White Tiger or Gambit. So we need to start here and switch one of these 2 with Zabu. So I think that this makes the most sense to switch Gambit with Zabu. And I mean, if it's not, then it's just the other order. But let's take a look. So average cubes, Zabu having the lowest win rate when played. Sure. So the other option is this. White Tiger is not that good, but I do think White Tiger is seeing a fair amount of play right now. So I feel like it has to be this. Gambit's the worst one. There we go. Okay, not bad. I think that is definitely... it feels like I'm in touch with what's going on. Today is Friday the 13th, so what if we started off with Black Cat? Oh my goodness. Okay. Sure. I was not expecting that. I guess let's also try Black Cat in the other one here. And we know it is a pool 3 card that has been in the game since the start. It's not a 10 power card or a 4 cost card. I feel like both of those do actually rule out a fair amount of things. So I'm thinking let's go for like Venom. Feel like that gets some other interesting categories because it does so many things. It's on reveal, it's destroy. It is not a spider villain, nor is it, I didn't know Black Cat was part of the Spider-Verse, but okay, wait, this is huge. I know it's a 3/3 that's in pool 3. So there really cannot be that many options. It's also on reveal. I don't believe that can be Nakia, because that's got to be like a pool 2 card. I'm blocking off a little bit here. Apologies for that. Should have made myself smaller again. But I kind of recapped it all. So what is the... What's another 3/3 that's been in pool 3 since the start of the game? Also an on reveal. I mean, this is just recall at this point. Start to think, oh, Killmonger? Well, that would definitely be an on reveal destroy. So we're not quite there. Trying not to cheat. I guess I feel like you can use this. That's fair game. So I don't know. Is this fair game to like scroll through here? Debris. I'm seeing that. That's an on reveal. No ability. On reveal and no ability. It's calling it add card to hand. We know it's not actually an add card to hand. But so I feel like if it's a no ability 3/3, there really cannot be that many options. It has to remove power from, like, remove abilities from something, like not, so it wouldn't fit these categories, but I feel like Red Guardian would be a 3/3 that has an on reveal with no ability because it can remove all abilities from something. Rogue doesn't fit. I don't don't think there's any other like text canceling. Oh, it's Rock Slide. That's what it is. It's Rock Slide, which adds rocks to the deck, and that'll get it done. Nice. Let's do one more then, because that one was just crazy. 914, I'm thinking we could go for Agatha. That is a 14 power card that I've been playing a little bit of. I don't think we're gonna get like great. Actually, Agatha would be better for the other one, because it would, we're not gonna, you wanna pick something a little bit more towards the middle. It's very unlikely something's gonna be higher power or cost than Agatha, so that really doesn't tell me much. Let's go with Wakan. Let's go full circle here, and we can see that this is a male hero, and it's gotta be higher than a 4/7, so I suppose we wanna pick like a 6/8, well, actually we want to do at least a 6/9. So how about Living Tribunal? That'll give us some info here. So we are looking at a 5/8. That is pretty straightforward. And we know it is, I didn't realize this was a neutral other, but we are looking for a male hero that is a 5/8. So there is probably only one card that this is, because it's not Gamora, right? So, oh, it's Vision. It's Vision. Okay, cool enough. There is a really simple, no, it is another 5/8 that is not Vision and is a male hero. Okay, what is, and I'm not looking at like the affiliations and the debuts and the other stuff. That doesn't really help me too much. But what's the other 5/8 that's in the game? We have Sandman isn't big enough. Gamora is definitely not correct. So what are we missing? You might get this one before I do then. I'm trying to think of like some different on reveals, because Black Panther is a 5/8, but it's a 5/4, really. So that's not what we're looking for. But I can't think of the other 5/8s. Don't think that this is a super playable card. Legion is a 5/7. I was just looking at it, a bunch of 5 cost cards for the Agatha deck that I put out on Friday for Friday's video. I guess I'll maybe look at the debut. It's between 68 and 2005. Okay, yeah. Tells me absolutely nothing. What other 5/8s are there in Marvel Snap? Now I'm thinking it's a card I don't own. Now I'm thinking, is Cannonball a 5/8? There's no way Ajax is a 5/8. That's like a 5/5. But maybe it is a card that I do not own. Oh, that could really throw me for a loop. I'm pretty sure Cannonball does not fit the bill. But maybe? Oh, it's Cannonball. Nice. Okay, I still do not own Cannonball. So that took me a second to remember, but there we go. Cannonball is an X-Men, came out in 82, right smack in the middle there, and is a 5/8. Let's play one more of these to finish off the video as well, and we're gonna go for Agatha, which gives us some good information. It is a 6 cost pool 3 that came out at the start of the game, but not at the very start. So I think that I already know what this is. I think this might just have to be She-Hulk. Not many cards came out during the first year of the game. There weren't spotlight caches. They were still trying to figure out how to introduce new cards into the game. And She-Hulk was one of those cards that came out. It wasn't a season pass card. It was kind of just like a weird other thing that they tried, and there we go. Okay, I definitely know my Marvel Snap. So if you want to test your Marvel Snap, check out the links in the video description to play along. But for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.